The following is yet another high school sports presentation brought to you by the high school sports leader in North Texas, 92.1 FM KXEZ, the Possum.
Texas 4A high school football for you here on 92.1 FM KXEZ from Raiders Stadium in Sunnyvale. I'm Ethan Herrera with our broadcast engineer Ethan Brooks back in the KXEZ studio. We've got a good one for you, the district opener between the Sunnyvale Raiders and the Caddo Mills Foxes. Both teams have been outstanding over the years, and we are ready for one exciting game tonight. 15 minutes to game time. We'll see more about the Sunnyvale Raiders when we come back on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Sponsors for tonight's game: Marsh Brothers Electric, Ivy Air, Belfiore Spa and Salon, Arboleda's Mexican Grill, and North Texas Appliance. We also ask that you show your Sunnyvale, the Raiders, coming today at 1-4. This is the district opener, and this is a team with a program, really, with not much history. Opened up in 2009. Sunnyvale that's when it was first established. It used to be just a junior high kind of school and would feed into North Mesquite, and since then, they have been to 7 playoff appearances all in a row. 2016, they were fantastic. Make it 2015. State quarterfinals they went to. Like I said, 7 playoff appearances in the area round 4 times, regional round 4 times, and regional semifinals was twice, actually 3 times. They won it once, and that was the time they went to the state quarterfinals to take on Gilmer, 2015-2016. Last year, 6-5 on the year in a shortened year, and a very odd year, according to Coach John Settle, saying that they had the schedule set, wiped all the way due to COVID. It was a very odd year for everybody, really, and they had to scramble around. They played some of the best teams in the state. That's why they started out, I think, 1-4, and then came back, won 5 straight, and were 6-5 on the season. Made it to the regional semifinal round in the playoffs. Again, lost to Gilmer. In 2019, went undefeated in the regular season and lost to Pleasant Grove in the 3rd round, the eventual state champions. Then undefeated once again back in 2018, 9-1 all told. And then they lost again to Gilmer in the 1st round. 2017, 7-5, 2nd round loss. 2016, undefeated in the regular season. So 3 undefeated regular seasons since 2016. 2015, 4th round, 12-2. And 2014, another undefeated season, losing in the 1st round. This team is no joke. However, this team has also lost a few of their players. And and one of the big ones, the quarterback from last year, who was a junior and all-state quarterback, transferred to Dallas Christian. Now they are without him, so it's really lost their stride. 1-4 on this season. They lost to Gunner, a good team, 43-7, and then they lost to Wilson, also a great team. 4-1 on the season is Wilson. 34-24 was that score. Got their first win against Brownsboro, which is Coach John Settle's former team, coached there for 7 years. They won that game 49-14, then fell off to Malakoff, 41-7, and played last week Dallas Carter, who's 4-1 on the year. They lost that game, Sunnyvale did, 35-27. This is the first district game. I'll talk more about the Caddo Mills Foxes, who have been on a roll the past 2 years on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM KXEZ. And folks, if you can't get us here at 92.1 FM KXEZ, don't forget you can get us at TuneIn Radio. Go to TuneIn Radio or the TuneIn Radio app. Click on 92.1 KXEZ. You can hear us anywhere in the world. So tell your out-of-town family and friends about TuneIn Radio. The Caddo Mills Foxes come into today at 4-1. They were undefeated up until last week where they played Aubrey, and they were undefeated in the regular season last year. They have been the product of a great couple of quarterbacks for them. Tyler Townley last year, Jason Thomason this year. I'll get more into Thomason in just a bit, but the game last week against Aubrey, Thomason was 14 of 35, 174 yards, The first game, he did not throw a touchdown pass. He did throw 2 interceptions, was not on his A game by any means. And really, Thomason had 5, the least amount of touchdown passes he's thrown this season. Before last week was 5 in a game. He is something special right there behind center. Rushing-wise, it was Adrian Baxter who carried the team. 24 attempts for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. A gain of 20 was the longest run, which that shows you just right there. He was well into his groove all game long. Thomason had 11 yards for 12 attempts, 54 yards for McDaniel with a couple of catches. Cade Lemon, 3 catches for 45. Jaden Lenneman, who's one of the best receivers in 4A, 4 catches, 34 yards. And Washrick, 3 catches for 34 yards. Now, Jason Thomason, he is a quarterback. He didn't get a whole lot of playing time last year because of course, Tyler Townley, who was one of the best quarterbacks in the state of Texas last year. Thomason, right now in rank of statistics in all of Texas, and this is even with the 174-yard, 0-touchdown game he had against Aubrey last week. He's tied for 5th in all of Texas in passing touchdowns with 21, and he's only got 5 games under his belt, while 3 others in that top 5 have 6. He's number 2 in 4A in those passing touchdowns with 21, number 3 in 4A in passing yards with 1,614. He is the number 1 yards per game quarterback in 4A with 322.8, and he's a top 20 in the state of Texas with those passing yards, and he gets to throw to one of the best receivers in the state of Texas in Division 4A, and that's Jaden Lenneman. Lenneman has been really one of the staples of this offense last year and this year. Wears that number 15 on his back. He's only a junior. He's number 2 in the state of Texas in receiving touchdowns with 10. So look for Thomason to go to Lenneman up top when they get closer, and he'll hit him for those big plays, but he's got a lot of playmakers on his side, including Jet Saldivar, Brady Washrick on the outside, Caden Lemon, who can break big runs in no time. They use him on end around as well as Jet Saldivar. That name is appropriate as he is one of the fastest kids in this district. So Caddo Mills and Sunnyvale are going to get set for their district opener. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about it. We'll set the scene for you. 5 minutes to kick off here from Sunnyvale and Raiders Stadium. You're listening to 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Hey, go see the friendly folks at North Texas Appliance in Rockwall, located at 1535 East I-30 on South Service Road, just about a mile from the football stadium. Wilkerson Sanders. Go by or call 972-771-0393. Again, that is 972-771-0393. North Texas Appliance, a longtime sponsor of high school athletics here on KXEZ. The Foxes undefeated last year, like I mentioned. They had Coach Cody Crane as their head coach. We'll talk a little bit about Coach John Settle here before kickoff commences. Coach John Settle, 31 years of coaching, 11th year as the Sunnyvale head coach now. 7 years he was the Brownsville head coach before then. He spent a bunch of his career before that as the assistant at North Mesquite until about 2004, until he moved over to Brownsboro. And according to him, he's seen a lot of great football, and a few years he's seen some really good football out of this district, but he still says he's seen a lot because back in 1983, he was a part of that state championship Dangerfield Tigers team, and that is actually considered one of the best teams in the Texas high school football history. They allowed only 8 points all season long, and they were the first Texas high school football team program to win 16 games in a season with 14 shutouts during that time. It's like we're just about to start here from Raiders Stadium in Sunnyvale. The Caddo Mills Foxes wearing their away uniforms, white jerseys, light gray tops, and green trim. It's dark navy blue for Sunnyvale with white pants. We'll take a quick break, and we'll get you right back out here for kickoff on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Thank you for joining us tonight under these Friday night lights. Again, district opener between Sunnyvale and these Caddo Mills Foxes. Looks like, if I'm not mistaken, Sunnyvale won the toss. Elected to defer to the second half. They'll be kicking right to left. Not much wind out here. If there is, it's just blowing from the right to the left. Crowd still filing in, and Caddo Mills side is filled. The band is playing. The crowd out here is set to go. The field is taken by Caddo Mills and by these Sunnyvale Raiders. Kicking right to left are these Raiders. Taking off for Sunnyvale is their all-state kicker, Jake Pacina. Jets out of our back to receive for Caddo Mills. Pacino walks it off. Crowd chanting. Picks his hand up, makes sure everyone's set. Pacina gets a walking start now. Booms this one away out to the left side. Hits down to the 10-yard line and fielded into the end zone by Jet Stoudevar. He'll take it out past the 5-yard line and bottled up quickly by the Raiders. Didn't get to the 10. So Caddo Mills on drive number 1 has their work cut out for them. Maybe Jet Stoudevar should have just let that one go into the end zone for a touchback. Either way, they'll start from the 9-yard line. We'll get the first look at Jason Thomason, looking for a bounce-back game tonight for him and these Caddo Mills Foxes. They'll start from the right hash mark, going left to right. In their away uniforms, some of them wearing pink armbands and pink tapes. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. In the shotgun, 2 running backs on either side of Thomason. Play action. Screen pass out to Lemon on the left side. Gets past the 5 and past the 10 to the 11-yard line. A gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8 from the 11, left to right, left hash mark. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. To the left of Thomason is Baxter, and a man jumped. It was the right tackle for Caddo Mills. Flags come flying in. It will be a false start. Trips out to the right side after the 5-yard penalty. Second and 13 from the 6-yard line. Shotgun to Baxter. They hand it to him. Up the middle he goes, but stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Make it a gain of 1 on the play. Back toward the original line of scrimmage, make it the 9-yard line.
That'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Foxes.
To be 3rd and 10 from the 9, out to the right side, trips to the right. Thomason in the end zone, evades pressure, throws it to the sideline and caught. That's a 15 by Brady Wasrick. Very close to the first down, actually, but he'll be a couple of yards short at the 18. Looks like Coach Cody Crane might keep his offense. No, now he sends out the punt unit, and Brady Wasrick, who just caught that pass, will do the punting. Wasrick to punt for Caddo Mills. Landry Laird, an all-district receiver and defensive back, set to receive for Sunnyvale. Just gets the punt away, fields it at the 47-yard line, and calls for a fair catch. So we'll get a first look at Sunnyvale. With 10:49 on the clock, 0-0 in the first quarter, Sunnyvale will take over after a 3-and-out from the Caddo Mills offense. Leading them out there is Richardson Yates. Yates in the pistol formation, 2 receivers to the right, tight end to the left side. He moves from left to right. That's Muhammad Said. Now up the middle, goes to running back. Gets past the 45 and down at around the 40-yard line. On that rush was Matt Leavitt. Ball will get down to the 39-yard line. They're already in Caddo Mills territory after a 3-and-out stop. The Foxes back inside their 20-yard line. The punt didn't get him at the other side of the 50. In the shotgun is Yates. Yates fires to the left side. Got his tight end across the 30, right up the seam. Gets the first down to the 24-yard line.
Number 18, Brent Winfrey.
Is Brent Winfrey, another all-district player, all-district tight end and defensive end for this Sunnyvale Raiders team. 2 receivers to the right side. Winfrey, the tight end, on the left side. 1 receiver to the left side in the pistol formation is Yates. Winfrey left to right motion to the other side of the formation. Going right to left, claps his hands. Yates hands this one off to right side. Gets out of the tackle. There he goes. Levitt out to the right side. Has some space inside the 10-5. And finally brought down by the secondary of Caddo Mills at the 4-yard line. Levitt was hit in the backfield. Somehow got out of the tackle, spun around to the right side, and had a big run for a first down. And now it's go for the Raiders. Sunnyvale moving the ball quickly. 9:42 on the clock and counting in the first quarter. Scoreless. The first possession for the Raiders in this district opener. Now they're knocking on the door, and the Foxes are going to have to hold true if they want to stop them from getting a touchdown right here. Leave it to the left of Yates in the shotgun. They stack the right side of the formation. Now, 2 running backs make it 2 tight ends to the left side of the line. 2 receivers on the right side, 1 man in motion. And now, a timeout will be called. We'll see. Whistles were blown by the referees. They stopped the clock, but no indication about what happened. And it looks like it will be a timeout. Not sure by who. The referee did not give us any sort of, like I said, indication about who made the timeout. Here we go. Timeout by Caddo Mills. Their first time out of the ball game. 9:22 on the clock. And a quick talk by Cody Crane has his team walking back out there to protect their own end zone. Nice couple of runs by Matt Levitt, the senior running back. And also a nice pitch and catch game from Bridgeton Yates and Brent Winfrey. Now, 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Yates in the shotgun, Levitt to the left of him. 2 receivers to the right side, 2 tight ends on the left side of the formation. They go heavy, and so do the Foxes. We'll see if they try to run it up the middle or try to get a little cute right here. The referee still hasn't blown the whistle to start the clock, put the play in motion. Still waiting on that. Not sure where the holdup is. Pointing at the scoreboard is the referee. And waiting around the 20-yard line as fans still file in. Pitch black now in Sunnyvale. Stars are coming out, not a cloud in sight. Perfect weather for some Friday night football. And now, not yet. Now he puts it in motion, blows the whistle, and Yates in the shotgun, 2 tight ends to the left side. Sends a man in motion right to left. Play action, pass of space, moves to the right side, fights for the goal line. Is he short? He is short of the goal line and short of a touchdown. They play action. The jet sweep going right to left. Moved out to the right side was Yates and was stopped by a pack of Foxes down there at the 1. It's 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Platoon swap as Yates comes out of the ball game. And we'll see the new quarterback. Maybe they do this a little wildcat situation right there. Right here for Sunnyvale. It's Zach Bardis in there. Takes the snap, powers forward, and touchdown Sunnyvale. It was Bardis, quarterback keeper on a sort of a wildcat power formation. Ran straight up the middle, and the first 6 points of the game belong to the Raiders. Sunnyvale on the board. Vecina on for the extra point try. Right-footed kicker. Kicking with the wind, what little wind there is. Hold is down, kick is up, and a beauty. Right through the upright, and good. 7-0. 8:46 on the clock in the first. Raiders lead the Caddo Mills Foxes on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, a touchdown by the Sunnyvale Raiders on a quick drive that started at the 47-yard line. A couple of nice runs by Matt Levitt. And a couple of nice plays from their outstanding quarterback. That's Ridgeton Yates, but ultimately from the 1-yard line, it was Zach Bardis, an all-district linebacker, second-team all-district last year. Had the quarterback keeper on a wildcat kind of formation, ran it in from 1 yard out. 7-0. Caddo Mills trails Sunnyvale with 8:46 in the first quarter. Vecina set to kick off for the Sunnyvale Raiders, and does. Saldivar this time does not return it. Lets it go in the back of the end zone and a touchback. So Jason Thomason will try to get some extra work in for this second possession of the game for Caddo Mills at the 25-yard line. Again, the sponsors for today's game: Marsh Brothers Electric, Ivy Air, Belfiore Spa and Salon, Arboleda's Mexican Grill, and North Texas Appliance. Thomason back out there with Baxter to the left side, from right in the middle of the field, going left to right. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Picks his leg up. Here's the snap, play action, fires left, and picked off! Picked off at the 27-yard line, open space, and touchdown Sunnyvale. It's a pick six. Jackson Sloan got a jump on the ball after Thomason fired to the flat. There is a flag on the play. It looked like it might have been on the return because it's thrown at around the 6-yard line. But Sloan got a jump on the ball and had wide open space, an easy pick six. And for the time being, we'll see what the call is on the penalty flag. But it's 13-0. The referee talking to both head coaches, going from one sideline now to the other to talk to Coach John Settle. But the way everybody's lined up, looks like it is against Caddo Mills. The referee not getting his mic to work. He's struggling with it down there. And not sure what the call is. But the touchdown does count for Sunnyvale. And he's saying that the penalty now will be assessed on the ensuing kickoff. But it's 13-0, 8:39 on the clock, pending this extra point try from Piscina. High snap, but it gets down. The hold is good. Kick is up, and it's good. 14-0. Got the work cut out for them to the Caddo Mills Foxes. 8:39 on the clock, first quarter on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. One play and a pick six from Jason Thomason.
Thank you, WRA.
And I guess the play on the kickoff, penalty on the kickoff, on that reception and assessed to this kickoff was on Sunnyvale. It was taunting, I'm being told, as whoever caught that ball to return it in was maybe celebrating on his way into the end zone. So Pacina and the Sunnyvale Raiders will kick off from the 25-yard line as opposed to the 35.
Saldivar and McDaniel.
Want to make it the 40. Pacina back to kick. Saldivar and McDaniels back to return for the Caddo Mills Foxes. Here's the kick. Booming kick, high in the air. Fielded at the 10-yard line. Jet Saldivar drops back, now takes it out from the 10. Has a block, now gets past the 20-yard line. And down finally at the 22. So Jason Thomason and the Foxes will take over for now their third possession of the ball game, already down 14-0.
Foxes will take over first and 10.
Going left to right from the middle of the field, Thomason in a shotgun. Baxter to the left of him, two receivers on either side of the formation, a doubles wide receiver set. First and 10 from the 22. Coach Cody Crane calling out to his quarterback to change the play up, and he does. Talks to his line, lifts his leg, low snap, dresses out to the left side, looks left, trying to get outside, and tosses this one out of bounds instead of taking the sack as he was very close. The out-of-bounds marker gives it to the line of scrimmage. Incomplete pass, second and 10 from the 22.
Ball push out of bounds by number 40, Nate Burleson. Brings up second and 10 for the Foxes.
Second and 10 from the 22-yard line. Trips to the right side. Baxter to the right of Jason Thomason. In a shotgun, lifts his leg, takes the snap, hands it to Baxter up the middle. Has a seam, but then brought down hard by that Sunnyvale line.
Number 12, Adrian Baxter on the run for the Foxes.
It was Joey Bruiser. What a name for a defensive player, Bruiser. The all-district receiver and defensive back comes in, makes the play. I could be wrong. It was Brent Winfrey who made that tackle. Now from the 24-yard line of Caddo Mills. Thomason drops back, has a man in the flat. That's Lemon. Got to the 28-yard line. Forward progression will get him to the 29 and hit hard, but he doesn't go down. It'll be third and short. Make it fourth and short. Another 3 and out for the Caddo Mills Foxes. Not looking good on offense now.
Hit hard immediately by 19. Joey Bruiser brings up 4th and 2 for the Foxes.
Be 4th and 3 for the Caddo Mills Foxes. Freddie Wasrick to punt. To return for the Sunnyvale Raiders will be Landry Laird, again the all-district receiver and defensive back. Offense is stalled out for Caddo Mills. Wasrick on for already his second punt of the game. This one end over end, backspin, not a great punt. He gets a favorable roll right at the 45 and will be down at the 41 of Sunnyvale. With 6:54 on the clock here in the first quarter, Sunnyvale already up 14-0.
Take over first and 10.
Regin Yates back out there on the field to lead the Sunnyvale Raiders. First and 10 from the 41-yard line. Getting his men set. They're using this pistol formation. In motion going back and forth is Charlie Christopher and Landry Laird. Both lining up in the shot. Doubles wide receiver set. They hand it off the middle to Matt Leavitt, who's had a nice game and finally brought down, and finally just the first drive that he's had with a couple of big runs, taken down for a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Brought down by number 7, Nate Reese. Also on the play. Brings up second and 11.
6:40 and counting in the first quarter, 14-0. Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills. Trips to the left side. They try to get a hard count. Yates did on the Caddo Mills defense. Died into the ball game. That's Winfrey, and the shotgun is Yates. He claps his hands, takes the snap, drops back, looks left, fires this one down the left sideline. He's got a man open and caught at the 21. That's Landry Laird and brought down inside the 10. Richardson Yates floated that one to the left sideline. Laird had a step on his man, got it in stride, and finally brought down after he got a few yards after the catch right at the 9-yard line. And that'll bring up a 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. 6 minutes to go in the first. Sunnyvale already knocking on the door. Boy, we did not see this. The Caddo Mills team did not expect a 1-4 team to be close to putting 3 touchdowns on them here in the first quarter. Just over halfway through the first quarter. Joey Bruiser in motion left to right, and a timeout called on the field. We'll take a quick 30 with them. 14-0. Caddo Mills trails Sunnyvale on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, Sunnyvale threatening to score again inside the 10-yard line, 1st and goal. It was a big play, a 49-yard, make it a 51-yard passing play from Yates to Laird. And now a man in motion left to right. That's Bruiser. Yates to the right side. Finds Bruiser in the flat. Cut to the 2-yard line. Fights for the first down of the touchdown, and he gets it. Touchdown, Sunnyvale. Bruiser went in motion from left to right. And Yates rolled out to the right side, threw into the flat, and found his man, Bruiser, that all-district tight end, for a touchdown. 3rd score of the game for Sunnyvale so far. We'll see what this extra point has in store as Jake Pacina, the all-state kicker, lines up for his 3rd PAT attempt of the quarter. Good snap, hold is down, kick is up, and of course it's good. 5:35 on the clock, it's 21-0 Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills. The Foxes in danger of having this one run away from it early in the first quarter. This is 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. 5:35 on the clock here in the first quarter. Already 21-0. Big score and a big play from quarterback Ridgeton Yates. The all-district wide receiver, Landry Laird. 51 yards, put him inside the 10, and then a 9-yard pass. Put another score on the board for Sunnyvale. Pacina to kick off. Again, left side is Stoudevar. Stoudevar will look up and watch this one bounce to the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Caddo Mills will take over on the 25-yard line.
4-play drive for Sunnyvale on that last scoring drive. And now Jason Thomason back out onto the field. 3 interceptions now in the past 2 games. Left to right goes Stoudevar. Dropping back is Thomason. Looking left, looking right, runs out of the pocket. Is chased, drops back, fires this to the middle of the field, and a jump ball, and another interception. Another interception thrown by Jason Thomason, but there's a flag on the field where he threw the ball. Right now, it was caught by Landry Laird with that huge catch in the last drive for Sunnyvale, and now comes up with an interception if it holds true, but it does look like it might be in the area of roughing the passer. referee talking to head coach John Settle near the sideline. Their team was ready to come out onto the field. Their offense was, and now retreating back to the sideline. Waiting on the call from the referee. And it was roughing the passer indeed on Jason Thomason. So instead of an interception, Caddo Mills offense will move up 15 yards. They'll start it now at the 40 on first down. First and 10 from the 40-yard line, left to right. Thomason checks the play from Coach Cody Crane on the left sideline. Gets the snap, hands it to Baxter. Up the middle he goes, but going nowhere. Stopped at the 40-yard line. No gain on the play. Brings up second down. 5:14 and counting in the first quarter. 21-0. Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills. Two receivers on either side of the formation. Sunnyvale trying to get set defensively. Two safeties back, two corners way back. No man coverage for them. Before Thomason can take the snap and drop back, a timeout is called by Coach John Settle on the Sunnyvale sideline with 4:49 on the clock in the first quarter. 21-0 is the score. Remember, folks, 92.1 FM at KXEZ is your Metroplex home for Texas A&M football and men's basketball. So on Saturday, tomorrow, the Aggies will try to defend Kyle Field as the number one ranked Alabama Crimson Tide is going to come to town to Kyle Field. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Pregame will be at 6. We'll have our full coverage for you here on 92.1 FM KXEZ. That Aggie team started out, with a lot of promise, and now they're unranked. Went from 6, I think, to 8, and then dropped all out, losing to Arkansas last week. But right here, district opener, 4A Texas high school football. 4:49 on the clock in the first, 21-0. Second and 10 from the 40-yard line. Going left to right, coming out of the timeout. Thomason in the shotgun, Adrian Baxter to the left of him. Two receivers on the other side of the formation. He lifts his leg, takes the snap, drops back. Has some time. Thomason drifting away, finding a man, and caught at the 45-yard line. That's the running back, Adrian Baxter. Gain of 5 on the play to the 45.
Brought down by number 6, Isaiah Willis.
And to bring up third.
Brings up third and 4.
And 4, making a gain of 6 on that play. Nice job of that offensive line to give Thomason a lot of time to find his receiver and find that running back out of the backfield with 4:15 left in that first quarter. Third and 4 from the 46-yard line. Now from the left hash mark, Thomason trips out to the right side in the shotgun. Baxter to the left of him. Lifts his legs. Takes the snap. Hands it to Baxter. Hit in the backfield, but makes the man miss. Powers forward, very close to the first down mark and midfield. And it looks like he'll be just short. Just short of the yard to gain and the line to gain. Makes it 4th and 1. And they're going to go for it. Under center goes Thomason. Fullback into the game. That's Hayden Reef. Try to give it to him. And Reef can't get there. Defensive stand for Sunnyvale. And on 4th down, they'll have a turnover on downs with 3:28 on the clock in the first. 21-0, Sunnyvale over these Caddo Mills Foxes. Well, as my partner in the broadcast, Scott Powell, usually likes to say, it was a 4-down territory possession, especially at the 50-yard line, not wanting to punt once again. To be the third time in 4 possessions to punt, excluding the interception thrown by Caddo Mills. So they try to go for it, and Coach Cody Crane lost the gamble. Now it'll be 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line, already in Caddo Mills territory for Yates and Sunnyvale. Play action. Tosses out to the left side, caught at the 50-yard line. Makes a man miss, gets past the 45, down to the 44. On that reception and run was Joey Bruiser.
Yates pass, number 19, Joey Bruiser. Brought down by number 8, Lance Jamison. Brings up
Down to the 44-yard line goes Bruiser. Bringing up second down and 5 from that 44-yard line. Shotgun is Yates, tied into the ball game. Leave it out to the left side. Here comes the pressure from Caddo Mills. Wrapped him up, dragged him down, and a big-time sack for the Foxes. Coming off the edge, it looked like from that defensive end position, was Jake Mitchell. They get Gavin Barabbas, a sophomore, coming in off the left side and making his presence felt. Big-time sack, pushes them back into their own territory to the 49. Bringing up third and long, 3rd and 12. Pistol formation for Yates. Leave it behind him. 2 receivers on the right side. Yates talking to his lineman. Slaps his hands, takes the snap, rolls out to the right side. There again, Barabbas. They throw it out to the left side. And hit at the 50-yard line after he was caught was Bruiser. Gets a couple of yards back, but well short of the line to gain. It'll bring up 4th down. He gets it to the 46-yard line. And we'll see the punter and the punt unit come out for the first time. We've seen Jake Pacina a few times on kickoffs and those 3 extra point tries, but now he comes out, it looks like, to do the punting for Sunnyvale. And with 1:30 and counting here in the first quarter, finally, Caddo Mills gets a stop. Back to receive for the Foxes is Jet Saldivar. Pacina lining up to do the punting. Here on 4th down. Beautiful long snap. Pacina gets this one away. Angle to the right sideline, hits it at 20 and bounces at the 15. Takes another bounce and takes a beautiful roll inside the 10 and down at the 8-yard line. Jake Pacina, the all-state kicker. That's exactly why he is. And with 1:04 on the clock in the first, Caddo Mills will get another crack at it, but they'll have to go a long way to get a touchdown. As Pacina pinned him inside the 10, they'll have to go 92 yards. Shotgun for Thomason. Trips out to the right side. Man in motion is Lemon. Right to left. Hand it to Baxter. Baxter rolls forward. Barrels his way through some contact and gains about 5 yards on the play. A nice job by Baxter to show a little bit of running desire. Maybe that's what will get this Caddo Mills team rolling. A gain of 5 on the play to the 13-yard line.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 from the 13. Shotgun snap. Thomason fires left. Almost picked off again. One of the Sunnyvale Raiders got a nice jump on the ball. That was Jackson Sloan coming in from his cornerback position. Almost got the pick. Instead, Sloan forces an incomplete pass on 2nd down, so it's 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5 from the 13. Trips to the right side. Thompson in the shotgun. Baxter to the left of him. Lifts his leg. Takes the snap. Looks left. Looks down the middle now. Rolls out to the right side. Drifting. Fires toward the middle and caught on the run. At the 32-yard line. First down and a nice play by Jason Thomason to get it to the receiver, Jaden Linneman. Finally, targeted for the first time and hit for the first time is Linneman down to the 32-yard line. And a first down for Caddo Mills. Trips to the left side, right hash mark. Thomason rolls left, has a bit of blockers in front of him, throws it to the flat, but thrown low and incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Intended receiver on that pass was for Caden Lemon.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
16 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter, 21-0. Caddo Mills trails the Sunnyvale Raiders in district game number 1 of the 2021 season. Trips stacked to the right side. On the right hash mark, the lone receiver to the left side is Lenneman. Shotgun snap for Thomason. Throws it out in the swing pass for Baxter. Cuts it upfield past the 30, and ball is on the ground. Ball is on the ground. Little scrum down there. We're waiting for the call from the referee. They're picking bodies off the pile. And Caddo Mills recovered. Baxter fumbled it after the swing pass. Picks it up. And that'll be the last play of the first quarter. An abysmal first quarter for Caddo Mills. 21-0 the score. Let's see what they can do. They'll have a 3rd and 10 from the 32-yard line when we come back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.
When the chips are down.
Nachos with jalapenos, maybe a little pulled pork on the top.
And the heat is on.
Ooh, hot chocolate. Warms the soul.
Who will step up to the table?
A buffet? Sweet. Now we're talking.
And take control of the game.
What game?
Whatever your reason for loving college football, it's all right here on the Texas A&M Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Second quarter goes here from Raider Stadium in Sunnyvale. 21-0 is the score. Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills. Trips to the right side. 3rd and 10 from the 32-yard line for Thomason and the Foxes. Pocket collapses out to the left side, and down goes Thomason. Taken down from behind. In to make the sack, Isaiah Willis. The senior comes in, sheds a couple of blocks, and brings down Thomason, who was looking to go deep. First play of the second quarter, much of the same what's been going on all game long so far for Caddo Mills. Ball will be spotted all the way back at the 24-yard line. And Brady Wasrick will punt again for the 4th time today. Wasrick barely gets this one away with a booming kick and a fair catch being called at the 33-yard line. Landry Laird on the receiving end of that. And Sunnyvale will take over the 34-yard line officially with 11:10 here in the second quarter to go. Yates has been good so far behind center for Sunnyvale. Touchdown from Yates to Joey Bruiser. After a 1-yard run by Zach Bardis. Yates this time hands off to Leave It, not even getting to the line. Huge play stopped behind the line of scrimmage by Adrian Resendez.
Brought down by number 64, Adrian Resendez.
And Resendez brings up a couple of, makes it a loss of 2 on the play. Maybe a loss of 1 to the 33. Looked like they could have helped him out a little bit more on that. But 2nd and 11 from the 33-yard line from the right hash mark. 2 receivers on the left side, 1 to the right. That's Landry Laird. Man in motion left to right. That's the tight end. Play action. Yates throws a deep ball to the right side. He's got Laird. Drops it into the bucket. That's the 30-yard line, and Laird, another beautiful pitch and catch from Yates to Laird, puts the Sunnyvale Raiders inside the 30. I mean, Laird threw that ball with perfect spiral action and a nosedive straight in the arms of Landry Laird. And another big play from those two from Sunnyvale. There is an injured or a down Fox at around the 25-yard line. It looks like that might be JoJo Garcia. Trainers are working on him right now. Our sponsors for today's game, Marsh Brothers Electric, Ivy Air, Belfiore Spa and Salon. Arboleda's Mexican Grill, love them. North Texas Appliance. .92.1 FM at KXEZ and 95.3 KHYI. The Range are deeply rooted and invested in North Texas. We thank you all for your continued support throughout the years. It looks like Jojo Garcia is hobbling over to the sideline under his own power. Looks like it might be in the area of a cramp. He looks pretty jovial down there, despite giving up the long play, but that's a good sign for him. 10:24 on the clock in the second. 21-0, Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills. Quick score for Sunnyvale in the first quarter, and then a pick six the other way for the defense for Sunnyvale. And then a long pass and a long drive for the Raiders made it 21-0. Yates drops back. Here comes the pressure once again. He goes down. Jacob Hall, the all-district lineman for Caddo Mills, comes firing in the second sack of the game for the Foxes. After the big pass play, good job to recover and reload, and the sack will put him back to the 34-yard line. There's a 50-yard pass play from Yates to Laird, a play before that. Play action. Laird drops back, steps up in the pocket, has a man to the end zone, jump ball, and did he catch it? He did. He held on. Touchdown, Sunnyvale. Joey Bruiser with his second touchdown catch of the ball game.
Completion to number 19, Joey Bruiser.
34 yards. And just like that, after the big sack, Pacina is on for the extra point try. Low snap, but it gets down. Kick is up, and it is good. And it's 28-0 with 9:37 on the clock here in the second quarter on 92.1 FM KXEZ. It was a four-play, 66-yard drive for Sunnyvale for their fourth touchdown of the ball game. With 9:37 on the clock, Pacina to kick off. Into the end zone, this ball will go. It'll be a touchback, so the 25-yard line will start the Caddo Mills Foxes. 28-0. It was a 1-yard run, like I mentioned before, by Zach Bardis on the quarterback keeper in a Wildcat formation to get the scoring going, and then it was a pick six from Thomason, picked off on the first play of the second possession for Caddo Mills, and a long drive again, back-to-back touchdown receptions for Joey Bruiser, the all-district receiver, first-team all-district receiver. Now an empty backfield for Thomason, 28-0 the score. Thomason fires to the right side. He's got Caden Lemon. Lemon makes a man miss past the 25-yard line, past the 30, and knocked down at the 35-yard line, close to the first down mark.
Number 2, Caden Lemon on the reception for the Foxes. That reception.
And we'll get the first down. I was waiting for the call. It will be a first down for Caddo Mills on the first play of this possession. And the shotgun is Thomason. Two receivers on either side of the formation. Baxter to the left of him. He waits with hands on his knees. Thomason takes the snap, hands it to Baxter, who rolls up the middle and hit in the backfield and falls forward for a couple of yards on the play. And to make that tackle was the big Dian punt. Under 9 minutes to go here in the first half of play. 28-0, Caddo Mills with a large deficit here in the first half. 2nd and 8 from the 37-yard line. Trips to the right side, picks up his leg as Thomason takes the snap, fires to the right, has a man caught at the 40-yard line, and spun around after a big hit down near the first down marker. Looks like that was Bentley McDaniel, the sophomore, getting his first catch of the ball game. Close to the first down mark, it'll be the 43-yard line.
Brought down by number 21, Landon Wright.
3rd and 2 from the 43-yard line. Thomason in the shotgun. Baxter behind him. The referee comes in. Did not blow the whistle yet. Now he does. Thomason takes the snap. Fires to the right side and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, which was Caden Lemon. Thomason put that ball right on him, and Caden, as soon as he turned around, could not catch that ball. It hit him pretty much right in the chest, and closing in on that right side of the formation for Sunnyvale was Joey Bruiser himself with a couple of touchdown catches. They're going to go for it. 4th and 2, 7:58 on the clock in the second. Thomason, quarterback keeper, dives forward and gets the first down. Move the chains, a 4th down conversion for Caddo Mills. Gets it to the 48-yard line. 7:49 on the clock, 28-0. Trips to the left side for Jason Thomason. 2 receivers to the right side. Empty backfield. Going right to left. Trying to make something happen, down by 4 scores. Checks his play again with Coach Cody Crane. Offense is set. Lifts his leg. Takes the snap. Looks left. Throws left. Scott Jet Saldivar at the 48. Barrels his way forward across the 45. Inside Sunnyvale territory to the 43-yard line. Mark down to the 42. And move the chains. First down. A little bit of a drive going. 6th play of the drive coming up for Caddo Mills. Trips to the right side. Another empty backfield for Jason Thomason and Caddo Mills. To the left side is Saldivar and Washerick. Drops back, fires right. He's got Saldivar to the right side and stopped well behind the line of scrimmage in a pack of Raiders. Ball comes loose. The ball comes loose. The referee coming forward, and it's Sunnyvale ball. Saldivar was hit behind the line of scrimmage. About 5 different Sunnyvale Raiders came over there to make the tackle. He was trying to fight for some yards, and in doing so, lost the ball, and it'll be Sunnyvale possession with 6:59 here in the first quarter, making the first half 28-0. Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills. Ball will be spotted at the 48-yard line. And the shotgun is Yates on the left hash mark, going left to right. Trips out to the right side, tied into the ball game. Now the running back moves to the right side. That's Levitt. Levitt takes the ball out to the left side. It's a sweep. Gets the midfield mark just shy of there. A 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 8 with 6:47 in the first half to go. 28-0. Trips to the right side. And Yates trying to get his offense set. Now he does. 1 receiver to the left side. That's the dangerous Joey Bruiser with a couple of touchdown passes in this game. Brent Winfrey, excuse me. Takes the ball to the right side. Yates fires to the right side. He's got Charlie Christopher. Gets some space. Past the 40, past the 45. Inside Caddo Mills territory. Out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Second play of the drive. Gets them down to the Caddo Mills 30. 20-yard play from Yates out to Christopher. 6:16 in the first quarter, making the first half 28-0, the score. Taking their time now are the Sunnyvale Raiders from Raider Stadium. Now in the shotgun. Yates takes the snap, hands up the middle to leave it, bounces around again, and hit hard after a 5-yard gain. In to make that tackle was Adrian Resendez, hit him from the blind side. It'll be a 4-yard gain. It'll be 3rd third and 7, from the 28-yard line. Make it the 27.
Brings up 2nd and 7 for the Raiders.
5:45 and counting in the first half. Try to get a hard count going was Ridgeton Yates, and now talks to his lineman. Has the play set, and the shotgun claps his hand. Play action. They hand it off to Leave It. To the left side, bounces it out. Dives forward past the 25-yard line near the numbers and short of the first down. But it'll get it to the 23-yard line. 4-yard gain on the play, make it 3rd and 3 coming up. Fifth play of the drive. On the way for Sunnyvale. Gets the play from Coach John Settle in his 11th year as the Sunnyvale head coach. Empty backfield for Yates. Trips to the right side. One man to the left. In motion is Ty Grace, the tight end, right to left. Takes the snap. Quarterback keeper all the way and hit behind the line of scrimmage. The third down quarterback keeper did not work, and down goes Yates. Caddo Mills was ready for it. Gain of nothing on the play brings up 4th down.
Brought down by Possum. Brings up 4th and short.
Some of the crowd wanting the Coach Settle to go for the field goal. But he says no dice. Trips to the right side. One receiver to the left. Again, that's Grace, the tight end in the ball game. Another quarterback keeper, and down goes Yates. The Foxes come in firing. Hayden Reef from that nose tackle position. And it's a turnover on downs for Caddo Mills, and they take over.
Caddo Mills takes over 1st and 10.
With 9:16 on the clock here in the second quarter, Caddo Mills will take over at the 26-yard line. Shotgun is Thomason. Trips out to the right side from the middle of the field. 28-0 the score. Sunnyvale with a big lead over Caddo Mills. Hand off to Baxter. Up the middle he goes, off the left tackle. And a gain of 2 on the play to the 28-yard line. There is a down to Fox, laying at the 30-yard line for Caddo Mills. Not quite sure who it is, but he pops up right away and heads for the sideline. It was Carson Davis walking to the sideline under his own power. So the lineman will come in for Caddo Mills. Adrian Resendez doesn't get a hold of offensive playing time. Being such a big, vital, key player on the defensive line, he comes in for the injured player. And with 4:02 on the clock, a 2nd and 8 for Caddo Mills and the quarterback, Jason Thomason. Caddo Mills in their away uniforms, gray pants, white jerseys, green numbers, and trim. 2 receivers to the right side, tight end of the ball game, 1 to the left. That's Washerick. Shotgun, hands it to Baxter. Baxter hit in the backfield, but makes the man miss and falls forward just to get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 8. Caddo Mills has not been able to move the ball as well as we've seen them do in the past. We weren't able to call the Aubrey game last week, but from the looks of the stats and the looks of this game, it looks like it's more of the same tonight. 3:25 on the clock, 3rd and 8 from the 28-yard line. Thomason, empty backfield, drops back, has some time, fires for a man deep down the left sideline, and caught at the 35-yard line. Jaden Lenneman, second target of the game and second reception. A huge play down to the 34-yard line of Sunnyvale.
First down.
What an absolute bomb from Jason Thomason to Jaden Lenneman. Has a big first down, and now they're firing inside Sunnyvale territory. Thomason fires this one to the flat. That's McDaniel. Caught at the 31-yard line. McDaniel past the 25. Past the 20, gets to the first down and a big run after the catch by McDaniel. Again, Bentley McDaniel, just a sophomore, making some plays happen. Gets it down to the 18-yard line.
Now by number 13, Zach Carter. That's good enough for a Possum first down.
First and 10 from the 18-yard line. 2:47 on the clock. 28-0. Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills in this district opener. Again, the third straight play with an empty backfield for Thomason. This time, fires to the right side. Got Jaden Lemon. Got to the 20. Makes a man miss. Makes a couple other players miss past the 15. And finally down at the 13-yard line. Make it the 12-yard line. 3 straight pass plays for the Foxes and 3 straight big plays and gains. Going to be 2nd and 4 from the 12-yard line. Now Baxter joins Thomas in the backfield. To the left of him, flags. They get a whistle that comes in and a timeout from Coach John Settle. And the Sunnyvale sideline probably wants to get his defense to catch their breath. We'll do so as well. 30 seconds. We'll be back here on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. The Foxes putting together a nice drive. The 6th play of the drive coming up out of this timeout. 2:05 on the clock. 28-0 the score here in the second quarter in this district opener. Don't forget, if you can't get us here at 92.1 FM KXEZ, you can hear us anywhere in the world on TuneIn Radio. Go to TuneIn Radio or the TuneIn Radio app and click on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Tell your out-of-town family and friends about TuneIn Radio. Thomason in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it to Baxter. Up the middle he goes, past the 10-yard line, and finally brought down after he was hit behind the line of scrimmage and powered his way forward to the 10. Bring up 3rd and short, make it 3rd and 2.
Number 12, Adrian Baxter, the ball carrier.
Baxter has not gotten going this game after having 140-plus yards in the last one against Aubrey last week. Or 2 weeks ago. They had a bye last week. Out to the left side, quarterback keeper all the way is Thomason. Has some space, 5-yard line, but short of the goal line. He gets it inside the 5 to the 3-yard line, and a first down for Caddo Mills and Jason Thomason. 1:30 on the clock in the second. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Baxter to the left of him. He picks his leg up, puts it down, takes the snap, and Baxter stopped right past the line of scrimmage. Gain of 1 on the play to the 2. Going to be 2nd and goal from that 2-yard line. Trips to the right side. Left hash mark for Thomason. Lone receiver on the left side is Lemon. Here's the snap. A mistake play and tries to get inside. Thomason spinning but knocked down. A broken play. It looked like it was going to be a read play, and Baxter took off. And finally, after Thomason tried to make a play happen, was hit down behind the line of scrimmage, back to the 3-yard line, a loss of 1 on the play and a timeout for Sunnyvale. For Sunnyvale, that was their final timeout with 53 seconds left to go in the first half. Up by 4 touchdowns, 28-0 over the Caddo Mills Foxes. Caddo Mills, this really is the first drive that they have really moved the ball at all. It started back at their own 26-yard line. At their 3 now. Will come out to try to punch it in. I don't know if Coach Cody Crane will go for the point with a field goal if they don't get this, but right now it's 3rd and goal from the 3. 53 seconds left in the second quarter. Caddo Mills trying to get on the board. It's 28-0 Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills in the district opener. Saldivar in motion, left to right. They toss it to him. It's a jet sweep. Tries to get inside and hit at the line of scrimmage. No gain. 4th down.
Number 4, Jeff Saldivar on the run for the Foxes.
It was actually officially a loss of 1 on the play. That was the 10th play of this drive for Caddo Mills. It was a jet sweep, one of those shovel passes just in front that officially goes down as a pass for Thomason. to Jet Saldivar, and he couldn't quite turn the corner. That defense for Sunnyvale has been outstanding in this first quarter, first half. 43 seconds coming out of the timeout from Caddo Mills. We'll see if they go for it or kick the field goal. And right now, it looks like Coach Cody Crane's going to elect to go for it. 28-0 the score. Out of the timeout, the lone receiver to the left side on the far side, lined up with the numbers, is Jaden Lenneman. Two receivers stacked on the right side. Thomason takes the snap, rolls out to the short side, the right side, throws to the back of the end zone, and incomplete. Incomplete as Thomason rolled out to the right side. He had Jaden Lemon in the back of the end zone, threw a jump ball for him, and Lemon couldn't hold on because of the defensive pressure by Sunnyvale, then knock it loose. And again, they could not score. With 37 seconds left here in the first half of play, Sunnyvale will take over at their own 4-yard line.
I want to see how this fitters go. I want to see what's happening on this fitter.
That was an 11-play drive for Caddo Mills, and they've got nothing to show for it. 28-0. 37 seconds left in the second quarter of play here from Raider Stadium, and they'll take a knee. Richardson Yates will just take it down at the 1-yard line. And the clock will wind down. District opener. Not doing so hot for Caddo Mills. 28-0. And the Foxes will head into the locker room with much to think about, defensively and offensively. We'll get you some first half stats when we return on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, an abysmal start to the game for Caddo Mills, down 28-0 to the Sunnyvale Raiders in the district opener. 8 first downs for Caddo Mills and 6 for Sunnyvale, although Sunnyvale has had that quick strike ability all game long. They had the touchdown run, the 1-yard run by Zach Bardis to open up the scoring for him in the first quarter. It was a quarterback keeper. They had Yates, who's done the quarterbacking for him all season long. They had him come out, brought in Bardis on a sort of wildcat power formation, and then shot forward for that 1-yard gain. By the way, before I go too far after this, after I do a quick recap, I'll send it back to Ethan Brooks, the KXEZ studio, for some old-fashioned classic country music on 92.1 FM KXEZ. So after that first score from Caddo Mills, from Sunnyvale, they have been on a roll. It was a pick 6 on the second possession and first pass of the game for Jason Thomason that they return for a 25-yard touchdown, make it a 30-yard return. And then it was a long drive after a long pass from Yates to his star receiver, Landry Laird, that went 51 yards. And then Yates to Bruiser to get the second touchdown, make it the third touchdown of the ball game for Sunnyvale. No scoring up until 2 possessions ago for Sunnyvale. They went just 4 plays and a 34-yard touchdown pass from Yates to Bruiser. Once again, that capped off a 66-yard 4-play drive for Sunnyvale. And they've been stuck right there, 28-0 since that play. Caddo Mills has not been going offensively, only 2 yards on the ground, only 20 for Sunnyvale as well, but after a 147-yard game for Adrian Baxter against Aubrey last game, 22 yards in the first half is not something to write home about. 146 total yards for Caddo Mills, 100 through the air. Jason Thomason, 13 for 19 here in the first half, and a 68% completion percentage, only 124 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Baxter, 17 yards on the ground. Thomason with 2. Gavin Clayton with 1. Receiving in for Caddo Mills, 2 receptions for every receiver except Jeff Saldivar. on the roster. Jaden Lenneman, 2 for 57. Bentley McDaniel, 2 for 22. Caden Lemon, 2 for 15. Brady Wasser, 2 for 15. Jet Stoudevar, 3 for 8. Has been stuck behind the line of scrimmage on a couple of jet sweeps, that is. And Adrian Baxter, 2 catches for 7 yards. On the Sunnyvale side, Ridgeton Yates, 8 completions on 8 attempts, 100% for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. He has looked great, calm, and collected back there behind the pocket, behind that offensive line for Sunnyvale. Rushing for Sunnyvale, 33 yards for Matt Levitt. No touchdown. Zach Bartis, that 1-yard run and touchdown. Ridgeton Yates credited with minus 14 yards on a couple of quarterback keepers he wasn't able to get back to the line of scrimmage on. Receiving for Sunnyvale, Landry Laird, 2 receptions for 91 yards. He's had 2 45-plus catches and receptions that ended up being scoring drives for Sunnyvale. 45.5 yards per reception right there. Joey Bruiser, 2 touchdowns, 4 receptions, 53 yards, and Charlie Christopher and Kirsten Stallings with a catch apiece for 20 yards apiece. Caddo Mills needs a whole lot of things to happen in the second half and a lot of things to go right to come back in this one in the district opener from Raider Stadium. We'll send it back to Ethan Brooks back in the KXEZ studio for the rest of halftime, and I'll get you back for the third quarter and the second half of this Caddo Mills and Sunnyvale game on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Welcome back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Ethan Herrera from Raider Stadium. Ethan Brooks, thanks for that terrific classic country back from the KXEZ studio here in Sunnyvale. Sunnyvale has a commanding lead over the district champs from just a year ago, Caddo Mills. Undefeated last season were these Caddo Mills Foxes, and now find themselves down 28-0 to the Sunnyvale Raiders. Raiders struck quickly and did not look back. Caddo Mills has had a couple of good drives, but hasn't gotten anything going quite so far. Sponsors for today's game, Marsh Brothers Electric, Ivy Air, Belfiore Spa and Salon, Arboleda's Mexican Grill, and North Texas Appliance. Hey, folks, don't forget, if you can't get us here at 92.1 FM at KXEZ on the radio, you can hear the games on TuneIn Radio. Go to the TuneIn Radio app or TuneInRadio.com. Click on 92.1 FM KXEZ. You can hear us anywhere in the world. So tell your out-of-town family and friends about TuneIn Radio. And also, go see the friendly folks at North Texas Appliance in Rockwall. They're located at 1535 East I-30 on the South Service Road, about a mile from Wilkerson Sanders Stadium. Go shop where we shop. They have great brands, General Electric, Maytag, Whirlpool, you name it. Go over there and see the friendly folks at North Texas Appliance or call 972-771-0393. Again, that number is 972-771-0393. Couple of things for the Caddo Mills Foxes that I would like to see them get going. I'm sure Coach Cody Crane and their fan base would like to see get going as well, is that run game that was oh so potent last week against Aubrey, or last game against Aubrey. They had a bye week last week. Only 20 yards on the ground, 22 yards for Caddo Mills. 17 yards for Adrian Baxter, who has not gotten really any sort of traction. Jason Thomason, 13 for 19 with 124 yards through the air. Sunnyvale won the toss at the beginning of the game, and now, as they defer to the second half, will get the first possession of this second half of play.
Barnett Sign, represented by Kelly Barnett Albert. And we have 2 Blue Level sponsors who are not in attendance this evening, Painting with a Twist and Rockwall.
28-0. Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills. And to kick off for Caddo Mills will be the sophomore Josh Ivy. Actually, it's the sophomore Brennan McDaniel, and now Ivy comes around. Onside kick to start the second half. Doesn't get to the 50-yard line, but was touched by one of the Sunnyvale Raiders. He dove forward, and now a scrum for it. Bottom of the pile. They're trying to get the players off the pile. Waiting for the call, and it's Caddo Mills' ball. Caddo Mills recovers on an onside kick to start the second half. A la Sean Payton and the Saints in the Super Bowl. And now Caddo Mills will take the first possession, wiped away the coin toss from the beginning of the game with 12 minutes to start here in the third quarter. They will start from their own 47-yard line. Empty backfield for Jason Thomason. Drops back, fires left side. He's got Bentley McDaniel. Got to the 50-yard line, and a gain of 4 on the play will get him to midfield. A gutsy call for Coach Cody Crane, down 28-0. Knew he had to get the offense rolling and have something start up quickly. They get the onside kick, trips to the right side. Left hash mark for Jason Thomason. Rolls out to the right side. Baxter in front of him to block. Fires to the right sideline. Caught. And no, it slipped through in and out of the hands of Brady Washrick, the junior. It'll be 3rd and 10. Incomplete pass. And Caddo Mills will be 3rd and 8, from the 50-yard line. 30 seconds off the clock here in the third quarter. An onside kick to start the second half. Caddo Mills tries to do something with it. Trips to the right side. Left hash mark. Dropping back is Thomason. Fires to the flat. That's Saldivar and absolutely hammered. Coming in from that cornerback position was Jackson Sloan, who had that pick six to start the game. That'll bring up 4th and 8. So the onside kick recovery.
That brings up 4th and 6 for the Foxes.
But can't get anything to show for it on the Caddo Mills Foxes. 4th and 8 from the 50-yard line, 28-0. Brady Washrick on to do the punting for Caddo Mills, and it's Landry Laird, who's had a couple of great catches on the offensive side to return for Sunnyvale. 28-0 the score. Washrick gets it away, but blocked and picked up by Washrick in the backfield. Sunnyvale, a big-time defensive play. Isaiah Willis coming in the second time he's made a great play on special teams. And Sunnyvale, it looked like they weren't quite ready. They may have been in a hole in the second half. Get a 3-and-out from the Caddo Mills offense, and a blocked punt puts them at the 32-yard line. Already in Caddo Mills territory with 11:19 on the clock in the third quarter. Rigdon Yates will step in behind center. To the right of him is Levitt. Matt Levitt to the right of him. He takes it. No. Play action across the middle and tipped up in the air right by the defensive line. And incomplete. Will bring up 2nd and 10 from the 32-yard line. 11:15 on the clock. 45 seconds into the second half of play. 28-0. Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills. Big crowd tonight for the district opener. If I'm not mistaken, it might be homecoming. No, I am mistaken. It's not homecoming for Sunnyvale. Shotgun snap. Yates looks left, fires left, and incomplete. Intended for the receiver on the left side. That's Joey Bruiser, who's had a nice game. 2 straight incomplete passes brings up 3rd and 10 from the 32-yard line. Yates in the shotgun from the left hash mark, going left to right. The tight end into the ball game is Ty Grace on the right side of the formation. Awaits the snap, now looks to John Sitt on the sideline. Calls the play out to his lineman. Drops back in shotgun, and now from the pistol to the shotgun formation goes the running back. He rolls out to the right side. Yates fires to the flat, caught to the 20-yard line, and pushed forward for a first down. Charlie Christopher. Caught to the 20-yard line, got a couple of more, and out of bounds to the 17-yard line. And like I said, first down for Sunnyvale on a 3rd and 10. A beautiful conversion for the Raiders. 11:04 on the clock. 28-0. Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills. 4 quick touchdowns in the first half of play have Caddo Mills in a hole, and right now in a bigger hole as the Raiders are in the red zone. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Tight end of the ball game, they hand it to Levitt. Matt Levitt makes a man miss. Spin move at the 12-yard line and brought down to the 10-yard line. A nice gain of 7 on the play to the 10. Bringing up 2nd and 3 with under 11 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Levitt in the ball game to the left of Yates. To the right hash mark, left to right. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Tight end of the ball game, that's Grace. Moving right to left, in motion. Now gets set. Claps his hand is Yates. Rolls out to the left side. Yates stops, plants, fires to the back of the end zone, and caught. My goodness. A leaping grab by Landry Laird, who's had a great game tonight. Laird jumped over the defense in the back of the end zone, spun around, and while he was going to the ground, somehow tapped his toe in bounds in the back of the end zone, and another pass caught for a touchdown from these Raiders. 3rd touchdown pass of the game for Ridgeton Yates. Pacino on for the extra point try. It's up and through, 35-0. Down by 5 touchdowns. Caddo Mills to the Sunnyvale Raiders. 10:26 on the clock in the third. You're listening to 92.1 FM, KXEZ. A 4-play, 68-yard drive for a touchdown that ended in a 10-yard strike from Yates. Yates to Laird. That makes the score 35-0 with 10.5 minutes to go in the third. Pacino on to kick off now. Back to receive is Jet Saldivar. Lets it go into the end zone. No, it stops just a yard short of the end zone, and Saldivar picks it up and takes a knee. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that will be a touchback to the 25-yard line.
Number 4, Jet Saldivar.
The referees are coming together to see exactly what's going on. This is a newer rule that isn't quite seen as often. If you take a knee on the kickoff like that, then it is a touchback. However, they're spotting it at the 2-yard line. And yeah, that's where Caddo Mills will take over. At their own 2-yard line at the 10:23 mark here in the third. Thomason in the shotgun. He drops back. Long time in his end zone. Fires to the left side for the man, Lenneman, and incomplete. Saldivar and Lenneman in the same area. It looked like it was a jump ball thrown. Lenneman had position, but Jet Saldivar saw the ball and ran toward it. It looked like it was 2 go routes, one up the seam and one up the numbers. And Saldivar led the defender straight into the contact of the ball, and it floats to the ground. Incomplete, 2nd and 10 from the 2. Thomason in the shotgun, takes the snap, drops back, looks right, pump fakes, moves to the right side, evades pressure, flag on play, throws it deep down the right sideline, and incomplete. Intended for the receiver, Caden Lemon. But a flag comes in the area of offensive holding.
There is a penalty marker on the field.
And holding on the offense. Be interesting right here. Might as well decline it.
By rule, that is a safety.
No, it is a safety. Because it occurred in the end zone. And by rule, that is a safety. So 2 points for Sunnyvale, and they are absolutely demolishing this Caddo Mills team right now, 37-0. 10:08 here in the third quarter. dreadful, dreadful game right now for the Caddo Mills Foxes. $37-0, Caddo Mills trails Sunnyvale. .92.1 FM at KXEZ and 95.3 FM KHYI. The Range are deeply rooted and invested in North Texas. Thank you for listening and, of course, for all your support throughout the years. After the safety, it'll be Josh Ivy to cook things off from the 20-yard line to Sunnyvale. Joey Bruiser back to receive for the Raiders, as well as Evan Johnson. Ivy off to Johnson, caught or bounced at the 40-yard line, and Johnson just falls on it at the 35-yard line. They get the 36.
Number 11, Evan Johnson.
Of Sunnyvale.
Ball on the ball. Raiders take over, 1st and 10.
And with 10:07 in the third, 37-0, Sunnyvale and Ridgeton Yates will take over.
I love you too.
From the 36, left to right, left hash mark. A dreadful game for Caddo Mills. Haven't lost 2 games in a row in quite some time. Undefeated all in the regular season. They lost last game to Aubrey 2 weeks ago after the bye. They come into Sunnyvale and are down 37-0 with 10 minutes to go in the third. Yates in the shotgun. New running back there. It's Evan Johnson who runs up the middle and fights forward for a gain of 4 on the play to the 40-yard line.
Number 11, Evan Johnson on the carry. Brought down by number 34.
Evan Johnson, just a sophomore.
Brings up 2nd and 6.
So you might see a lot of him right now in, it's not quite garbage time. I'm not going to count the Foxes out yet because we've seen them score in quite a hurry sometimes. So it's not fair to say that this ball game is over because we know how quickly they can get the ball rolling. But right now they need to stop the Raiders on offense. Another hand up the middle to Johnson, and Johnson has a hole past the 45, past the 50, inside Caddo Mills territory. Gets the first down and brought down at the 47-yard line
Evan Johnson again, the ball
of Caddo Mills.
That run good enough for a Raider. 1st down.
13-yard run for Evan Johnson on his second carry of the night. 9:06 and counting in the third, 37-0, 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line for Sunnyvale. Shotgun. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Tight end of the ball game. That's Grace on the right side of the formation. He moves from right to left. Yates claps his hands, takes the snap, drops back, looks right, fires right. Got to the 40-yard line and brought down. That's Charlie Christopher, who's had a nice game. Brought down at the 40-yard line. That is a 7-yard gain. And Richard Yates has been absolutely precise. It's the best word I can describe him. I think he's maybe had 2 incomplete passes all game long. I'll get the exact number here in a bit. 3 touchdown passes for him. And now Zach Bardis comes into the ball game for Johnson at the running back position. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Johnson out of the ball game. Bardis in. Quarterback keeper Yates. Yates takes it up the middle off to the right side, off the guard, across the 35-yard line, hit hard and goes down after he gets the first down at the 34.
Brought down by number 5, Sam Buela.
6-yard gain.
For the Raiders.
And Yates comes off. Actually, he comes off kind of limping after that hit. Maybe a little woozy, but doesn't go see a trainer, just gets some water. Into the ballgame at quarterback for Sunnyvale, Caden O'Neill, the junior, in the shotgun. Muhammad Said, the tight end, moves right to left. Hands it to Bardis, who moves around, dodges, Flag comes flying in and finally down at the 32-yard line. But we'll see about this penalty marker. A helmet came off. I'm not sure whose it is, one of the Sunnyvale players. It was Bardis, the running back.
Penalty marker on the field.
This one looks in the area of offensive holding. Indeed it is. On Sunnyvale, 7:23 on the clock, 37-0 to score, 37-0. Caddo Mills trails Sunnyvale in the district opener.
The indication is holding against the Raiders.
One of the few penalties we've seen on Sunnyvale, and really in this game, haven't been a whole lot of penalties. Again, I'll get those numbers for you. Richard Yates, 11 for 13, 84.6%, 212 yards, 3 touchdowns. A fantastic game for him. 2 penalties for Caddo Mills, and now 2 penalties for Sunnyvale. Just 4 completely on the game with 7:10 in the third. That's quite a stat. The game's been moving along. 37-0 Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills. O'Neal in the shotgun. Hands this one off the right side to Levitt. Now he cuts to the left and cuts back to the outside. Up the middle he goes. A flag comes flying in well after the play. The back judge had a good toss of that one. Threw it way to the 40-yard line from about the 20. So that second down play, 2nd and 19. They get 2nd and 20. Let's see what the play is. Again, the mic for the referee is not working, but the penalty will push Sunnyvale back even further. Wow.
Penalty is against the Raiders.
This would be, this would be a 30, 2nd and 30. How many times have you seen this? 2nd and 30 for Sunnyvale. That penalty pushed them all the way back to their own 44-yard line. And the shotgun is O'Neal. No, Yates is back in the ballgame. Hands it to Levitt. Levitt hits the pile, goes to the right side. That's the 45 and down right at the 46 they'll give him. Gain of 2 on the play. They bring up 3rd down and very long. 3rd and 28.
Brings up 3rd and long for the Raiders.
With 6:15 to go in the third quarter, 37-0. If anything, Sunnyvale has taken a ton of time off the clock. They started this drive with 10 minutes here in the third quarter, and now taking 4 minutes in this drive, and really they've gone nowhere. Well, they've gone backwards, really. From the 46, 3rd and very long. Yates claps his hands, rolls out to the left side, has some blockers in front of him, tries to cut the corner, stops, and hit hard, and sacked for the 3rd time tonight. It's Hayden Reef getting in there, bring up 4th and long, and force a punt from the Raiders.
Number 7, Hayden Reif on the tackle for the Possum. Brings up 4th down for the Raiders.
A big-time play as he rolled out to the left. Yates did. Try to get some space and make a play happen, but then Reef came in from his linebacker position and absolutely blew it up. Yates goes down hard to the ground, and Pacina is on to punt. Saldivar back with his toes on the 20-yard line. Set to receive this punt after a 4th and 30. Under 5 minutes to go in the third. Pacina gets it. A kick high in the air, but not very far. Saldivar comes up, lets it hit down at the 28, and scooped up by the Raiders down to the 35-yard line.
Pacina punt down to the 35.
And so with 4:48 on the clock in the third, Caddo Mills would take over on their own 35-yard line, down by 37. They had a whole lot of work to do, and a whole lot to try to make this game even a little bit interesting. Jason Thomason has not quite been himself We'll see if he returns to form on this drive. Trips to the left side. Baxter to the right of him. Washrick, the lone receiver. Lenneman, the far receiver to the left side. Baxter. Kate takes it and hit hard. Evaded that hit. Was absolutely crushed as soon as he took that ball from Jason Thomason by Brent Winfrey.
Number 12, Adrian.
Somehow did not lose it, and now it's 2nd and 12. From the 33-yard line. Trips out to the left side. Thomason rolls to the left. Stops. Looks right. Looks to the middle. Fires this to a running back. No. It was a lineman who went out there. Flag comes in. Maybe an ineligible receiver situation as that flag came in. He just tried to get that ball away was Thomason, and now the referees are talking together, talking to see if that is indeed an ineligible receiver, or was the big number 72, Jacob Hall, a part of the play. We'll see exactly what goes on here. It was a 2nd and 12. And no indication from the referees. No, now he's going to come out and address the crowd as well as he can with no microphone. Takes his time, walking. Now points out to one of the receivers, or excuse me, the would-be receiver if Jason Thomason had it his way. They're going to say an eligible man downfield. Or excuse me, an eligible receiver. And that'll push them back. It was declined, so it's 3rd and 12. From the 31-yard line. Thomason drops back, looks left, has a pocket, steps up, fires this one deep down the left side. That's Lenneman, and incomplete. Over the head of Lenneman. Landon Wright for Sunnyvale in to make a defensive effort, and that'll bring up 4th down, and Caddo Mills again cannot get anything going against this Sunnyvale defense.
Number 21, Landon Wright on the coverage. Brings up 4th down for the Boxers.
Another punt for Caddo Mills, and Sunnyvale will get the ball back here in the 3rd quarter, up 37-0.
Number 3, Brady Washrick.
Brady Washrick back to punt for Caddo Mills. Landry Laird to receive. A nice punt, angle to the left sideline, hits down at 35, takes a nice roll inside the 25. Picked up by Laird, who tries to go out to the right side, makes a nice move, and then hit hard and down past the 25 to the 27. Officially the 28-yard line. He moves it back 1 to the 27 of their own. Sunnyvale digging over, up by 37 with 3:53 to go here in the 4th quarter, making the 3rd quarter. And maybe Caddo Mills will try to stop them and make a play. A defensive score obviously would be huge, but a defensive stop needs to happen for Caddo Mills if they want any sort of chance of coming back in this one. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line from the right hash mark. The Sunnyvale Raiders will head back out on the offensive side. They've scored once already in this half. Was a 10-yard pass from Yates to Laird on a 68-yard drive that spanned 4 plays. He claps his hand. Yates on the reader. Pulls it right side. 25 yards past the 30-yard line. And a gain of near 5 on the play. Make it 6 to the 39. The 34-yard line will bring up
number 6, Adam Jones.
2nd and 3.
4 for the Raiders.
2nd and 4 from the right hash mark. Left to right it goes from the 34-yard line. Yates in a shotgun. To the left of him is the junior running back, Evan Johnson. The sophomore running back, Evan Johnson. He drops back. Yates fires across the middle, has a man cut to the 49-yard line. That's Landry Laird. Past the midfield mark and down right at the 49-yard line inside Caddo Mills territory and a 1st down.
Number 14, Landry Laird.
Laird has had a beautiful game, and he capped it with a touchdown pass 2 possessions ago. Touchdown catch 2 possessions ago. Under 3 minutes to go in the third, 37-0. First down for Sunnyvale. And now inside Caddo Mills territory. Yates clasps his hands, now looks to the right side, trips to the right side. Tied into the ball game, that's Grace. Johnson, the running back to his right, takes the snap, fires to the right side. Yates, caught by Laird to the 50, hurdles a man and gets a couple of yards down close to the 45-yard line. They'll mark him just short of that at the 46. Gain of 3 on the play. Approaching 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the third, and this really has been the most one-sided game on the losing end Caddo Mills has had in quite some time, especially all last year. They played Gilmer and lost to Gilmer in the third round of the playoffs last year, but it was a close game. Aubrey last week, or last game, was a close game. This one, can't say much for it, as Johnson rolls this one out to the right side off the tackle and down. No gain on the play. They're stuck at the 46-yard line. They bring up 3rd and 7 from the 46-yard line. 1:30 to go in the third. Shotgun for Yates. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right, and there is a tight end into the ball game, Muhammad Said. Snap to Yates. Looks to the left. Broken play. Tries to move it in. Brought down and hit hard behind the line of scrimmage, and another sack for Caddo Mills. Hayden Reef and Lance Jamison in with double duty for the Foxes to bring down Yates and bring up a 4th and 9. 2-yard loss on the play. On the 4th down, 4th and 9. And Pacina comes out there to put the ball away. Stoudivar will return for Caddo Mills. 50 seconds left to go in the third quarter. 37-0 to score. Sunnyvale absolutely in control of it. Caddo Mills has 4 sacks in this game, but really they've come, Sunnyvale has been able to overcome that. Far punt, and the crowd wants to rough in the passer, and they'll get it. This ball hits down to the 20-yard. Past the 34, had a lot of backspin on it. I don't know if it'll be a running into the kicker, but if it's a roughing the passer, then there'll be a first down for Sunnyvale. Running into the kicker will just be a 5-yard penalty, which will not result in a first down if I have my knowledge of the rule book all straightened out up there in my head. 26 seconds on the clock. The referees are coming together to talk about it just a bit. 37-0. Sunnyvale with a huge lead over Caddo Mills. There's a couple ways they can go about it, I think. They could enforce the penalty if it is a running into the kicker at the end of the play, at the end where the ball was spotted, if they wanted to, and that's Sunnyvale if they wanted to, or they can choose to re-kick. I'm pretty sure. If it's a roughing the kicker, which, to be honest, I was watching downfield, didn't have a second set of eyes on me to see the kicker Pacina on the ground or not. When I looked over, he was on 2 legs. However, if it is a roughing the kicker, the offense will come back out on the field because it's a 15-yard penalty, and Sunnyvale will get another possession pretty much. And it is roughing the kicker. So Sunnyvale will head back out onto the field, presumably. Referees marking the ball off. Ball right now will 32-yard line. And Sunnyvale will get another shot at it. 1st and 10 from the 32. Going in on the 32-yard line, 20 in the third. They ran a lot of time off the clock these last two possessions. Grace, the tight end, moves from right to left. Handoff up the middle to Johnson, and Evan Johnson has some hold to the right side off the tackle, past the 30, inside the 30, past the 25, and a late flag. Johnson looked like he was hit after he went out of bounds. I mean, that's what the flag is going to be. He's hit right out of bounds at the 25, so we'll see what gets tacked on after that. Oh, I noticed as soon as I said there's only been 4 penalties in this game, they get 3 penalties in this game. There's been quite a few in the past minute. So the late hit will take another 15 yards and tack another 15 yards onto that play and put him down. Will it be another 10 yards? Okay, well, they're spotting him at the 13-yard line. 20 seconds to go, 37-0. Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills. From the 13-yard line going in. For Sunnyvale, Yates in the shotgun. To the right of him is Evan Johnson, who's had a nice game coming off the bench here in the third quarter. Receiver to the right side, 2 to the left. Yates claps his hands, takes the snap. Play action, no. Hands it off to Johnson, who's bottled up at the line of scrimmage. Gain of nothing. They'll stick it at the 13-yard line.
Brought down by number 64, Adrian Resindi.
11 seconds on the clock. There is a timeout on the field. Not sure why. Oh, because one of the Caddo Mills Foxes is down. Writhing in pain. Injury timeout. That is not something you want to see. 11 seconds on the scoreboard. We'll take a quick timeout. Quick 30-second break on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Sunnyvale with a huge lead. Coming out of that timeout, they'll let the clock roll down. Just like that, we're headed to the fourth. Sunnyvale flipping sides from 113 to the other going in. They're up 37-0 over Caddo Mills. Last quarter of play from Raiders Stadium in Sunnyvale. We'll get you right back here in just a bit on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, Ethan Herrera here with Ethan Brooks back in the KXEZ studio. Our sponsors for today's game, Marsh Brothers Electric, Ivy Air, Belfiore Spa and Salon, Arboleda's Mexican Grill, and North Texas Appliance. Don't forget, if you can't get us here at 92.1 FM KXEZ, you can hear the games on the TuneIn Radio app and TuneInRadio.com. Go to the app, download the app, or go to TuneInRadio.com, click on 92.1 KXEZ, and you can hear us anywhere in the world. So tell your out-of-town family and friends about TuneIn Radio. If you can't get us on the dial, get us on the stream. Start of the fourth quarter, 37-0. Sunnyvale with a huge lead over Caddo Mills in the district opener. Yates, play action, fires toward the middle, in and out of the hands. The first target for the tight end, Ty Grace, of the game. He had a wide-open shot for the end zone if he held on, but he couldn't. Incomplete pass. Including whatever that kind of nonsense that happened over there with the punt and the roughing the kicker call. This will be the 10th play of the drive for Sunnyvale. There is a downed Fox near the 15-yard line. That's Jacob Hall, the all-district lineman. Just 3 seconds in to the fourth quarter. And don't forget, folks, 92.1 FM at KXEZ is your Metroplex home for Texas A&M men's basketball and football. On Saturday, tomorrow, the Aggies going to try to defend Kyle Field as the number 1 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide is going to come to town. Kickoff will be at 7 p.m., pregame at 6. They're going to have the full coverage here for you on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Also, we are the official home for Rowlett Eagles football all season long. a bye week this week for the Eagles, but they'll be back flying in action next Friday when they head over to Williams Stadium in Garland to take on North Garland. Kickoff will be at 7 with the pregame starting at 6:45. And also, we've also been happy to announce we're calling 5 Caddo Mills games this season, obviously this being one of them. This is the 3rd such game we've called. The next game we will air on KXEZ will be on Friday, October 22nd. It's going to be a district matchup for the Foxes as they play host the Community Nevada team. Kickoff will be at 7:30 with a pregame starting at 7:15. So be sure to mark your calendars and be sure to tune in to 92.1 FM at KXEZ, your Metroplex leader for high school sports. Hall still on the ground over there, just now being helped up by the trainers. We'll let you know if we have any information if he's okay, but we do hope that he is. Right now he's walking off slightly under his own power with a slight limp. He looks like he's getting the hang of it now, walking a little bit more straighter. It's good. Hopefully nothing too serious down there. With 3 seconds off the clock, though, here in the 4th. Not looking too good on the field for the Foxes. 37-0. Sunnyvale well in charge of this game. It started on the first drive. Yates took the team down the field. And they haven't looked back. Pump fake. Yates fires to the back of the end zone for Laird and incomplete. Well overthrown and out of bounds. Yates to Laird. In to help out on that defensive effort in the secondary was the outstanding safety for Caddo Mills, Cohen Parks. 10 seconds off the clock in the 4th. 37-0 Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills, and we'll see Jake Pacina, the All-State kicker for the first time in action on the field goal side. He's got a multiple PATs, of course, for the first time we've seen him. Kick is down. Hold is down. Kick is up, and it is perfect. A 30-yard field goal for Jake Pacina, and it's 40-0 with 11:40 to go in the 4th quarter. Caddo Mills trails Sunnyvale on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. On 92.1 FM at KXEZ, a field goal, a 30-yard field goal for Jake Pacina. Put 3 points on the board for the Sunnyvale Raiders. Now moves him to 4 for 5 on the year. His longest of the year was 33. The miss that he had, if I'm not mistaken, was a 53-yarder that Jake Pacina missed. So may not hold that one against him too much. But now he kicks this one off to Jet Saudivar waiting in the end zone. And it'll be a touchback as Saudivar fields it and waves for the fair catch.
Caddo Mills will take over first and 10.
Caddo Mills will take over at the 25-yard line with 11:49 to go. I mean, it's so odd to see Caddo Mills in this sort of state after seeing what they did last year and seeing how they started the season. Huge wins over teams, and now they get into district play, and they completely have fallen apart. Thomason hands it to Baxter, hitting the backside of the line of scrimmage, and Baxter breaks free across the 30-yard line. What looked like a loss on the play. Baxter gets about 6 on it to the 31. This Sunnyvale team has been outstanding since Coach John Settle has come aboard. Thomason drops back. Here comes the blitz. Evades pressure. Eyes in the back of his head. Rolls out to the right. fires to the 40-yard line, caught by Caden Lemon. The ball comes out. Hit on the play. He caught it and turned around, very close to an incomplete catch, but fielded by one of the Sunnyvale players and taken to the 27-yard line. Another turnover. It was Zach Bardis who came up with it after Lemon caught it, tried to turn it upfield, and was hit from behind, and the ball popped out. And they cannot catch a break at all. 2 plays, 1 fumble. And at the 11:05 mark here in the fourth quarter, Sunnyvale will take over at the 30, making the 28-yard line. O'Neal hands this one off to the left side to Levitt, and Levitt breaks free, running hard. Levitt powering through to the 20-yard line. About 8 yards after initial contact. From the 28 to the 20. Nothing can go right for Caddo Mills today. This may be one of those games where they just kind of scrap it in post. Maybe they look at the film, look at a couple of things they might have done wrong, but really you put this one behind you, I think. Anyway, O'Neal, the quarterback in the shotgun, claps his hands, the man's in motion, hands this one on to Johnson. Evan Johnson rolls to the left side, gets past the 20 and close to the first down mark to the 18-yard line. Does he get the first down? Yes, he does. First down for Evan Johnson, who's had a nice game.
Good enough for a Raider first down.
Johnson on the day, 5 carries for 24 yards. Matt Levitt, 10 for 42. 4.2 yards a carry for all you math wizards out there. 10:03 and counting here in the fourth quarter to play. 40-0, Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills. I haven't said that in a while. I guess I should give you the score. 40-0. Man in motion at the tight end. Muhammad Said. Snap to O'Neal. Hands it to Levitt. Rides up the middle. And the ball is on the ground, but scooped up quickly. Right there is Muhammad Said to make sure that Sunnyvale keeps possession. It'll be a gain of 1 on the play, bringing up second and 9, I beg your pardon. At the 17-yard line. 9:30 and counting. They've taken a whole lot of time off the clock. They're not snapping the ball until they're inside of 8 seconds at least. For Sunnyvale. 2 receivers to the right side from the left hash mark. On the left side, that's Joey Bruiser, who's had 2 touchdown catches. He's all alone. Sade moves from right to left of the formation. O'Neal hands it to Levitt. Levitt has some space inside the 15, 10, 5, and dives, but brought down at the 3-yard line. 14-yard run for Matt Levitt. He's got 50 yards now, 55 yards on the day. Let's see what Caden O'Neal can do. O'Neal, no touchdown passes on the year and no touchdown runs. Maybe he can make something happen, the backup quarterback. The junior waits in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right side. He hands it to Levitt. Off to the left side. And Levitt hit hard and scooped up and swallowed up at the 6-yard line. A loss of 3 on the play. Bring up second and goal from the 6. 8 minutes to go left in this one. Caddo Mills trailing huge, 40-0. A quick score on their first possession to start the game. Sunnyvale had just a 3-play drive, make it a 4-play drive. And then a 5-play drive, got a touchdown. But before that, a pick 6 for Caddo Mills. O'Neal rolls to the right side. Has some space. Fires to the back of the end zone. He's got a man. Touchdown, Sunnyvale. And was it that man again? It was. Bruiser. His third touchdown reception of the ballgame. And Caden O'Neill gets his first touchdown pass of the season. It's the big man, Joey Bruiser, the all-district, first-team all-district receiver and second-team all-district defensive back for his third touchdown reception of the ballgame with 7:30 to go. Pacina on for the extra point try. Good snap, good hold, good kick. It's 47-0, 7:30 to go in the game. Caddo Mills down big.
47, Caddo Mills 0.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.
Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, a 6-play, 28-yard drive. Taking about 3.5 minutes off the clock, which ended on a 6-yard touchdown pass from Caden O'Neill to Joey Bruiser for his third touchdown reception of the ballgame. And it's 47-0, Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills. Pacina on to do the kicking for Sunnyvale. And away it goes to the end zone, and Saldivar lets it hit. Touchback, 25-yard line, will meet the Caddo Mills Foxes here in a bit.
Caddo Mills takes over, first and 10.
Just to remind y'all again, we are the official home for Rowlett football all season long. A bye week this week for the Eagles, but they'll be flying back into action on Friday when they head over to Williams Stadium to take on North Garland. That's next Friday with a kickoff at 7 p.m. with pregame starting at 6:45. Caddo Mills takes over at the 25. Thomason in the ballgame, hands it to Baxter. Up the middle he goes, past the 30, past the 35, and still on his feet, and it takes a flurry of Raiders. A whole battalion to bring down Adrian Baxter across the 35 to the 38-yard line, and a first down. From the 38, going left to right. Thomason again, hands to Baxter. Makes a man miss across the 40, across the 45, and across midfield. Another first down on back-to-back runs for Adrian Baxter. Actually, that's Gavin Clayton down there for Caddo Mills making these plays. Back-to-back runs for him to the 49-yard line of Sunnyvale. They'll try it once again. Clayton off the left side this now. A nice run, not quite as nice, but a gain of 2 on the play. Make it 3 to the 47. Gain of 2. 47-0 the score. A down Sunnyvale Raider. Looks like it might be one of the defensive linemen. That's Zach Slack down there. With 6:21 on the clock. An injury timeout. And we'll take a break on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, our sponsors for today's game, Marsh Brothers Electric, Ivy Air, Belfiore Spa and Salon, Arboleta's Mexican Grill, and North Texas Appliance. The injured Raider down there was indeed Zach Slack, and they're helping him off the field. A couple of trainers with his arms around them, gingerly limping. One of their better players, even at something that maybe in one of those cases, maybe, should not have been out there up 47-0. Either way, we hope that he's okay. 6:21 on the clock in the fourth. Jason Thomason and the Caddo Mills Foxes get a couple of first downs this drive and maybe trying to get on the scoreboard to avoid the shutout. Thomason in the shotgun, middle of the field. Two receivers on either side of the formation. Clayton to the right of him. He picks his leg up, takes the snap, rolls to the right side, stands in the pocket now, fires this one deep toward the middle of the field to nobody and intercepted. Another interception thrown by Jason Thomason. This time hauled in by Ethan Tank. However, there are flags on the field, I guess. No, there's whistles before the play. I'm not sure. Oh, no, the ball was hit to the ground, incomplete pass. I'm sorry. 3rd and 8, and whistles come flying in before the play happens, and a timeout called by Caddo Mills. No, by Sunnyvale. 5:59 on the clock, 47-0. Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills in the district opener. Caddo Mills is, like I've said, I've never seen them play like this in the past year that we've been covering them. It's quite a thing to see, especially in a district game versus Sunnyvale, who they handled quite easily last year. That I'll say it. I mean, Sunnyvale took them down the 2 years prior when Sunnyvale was really dominating this district, and now Caddo Mills, losing the first district game, will find themselves in the last place column, tied for last place for the first time in quite a while. Empty backfield for Thomason. In the shotgun, drops back, looks to the left side, still looking, fires this one to the left side, and incomplete, intended for the receiver, Jaden Linneman. And it's crazy to think that there might be something wrong with Jason Thomason, I guess, because his throws do not look anything like we've seen the first 2 weeks. Forget the better defense, forget any sort of pressure. He has time, but the throws aren't as crisp, and he's underthrowing quite a lot of players, quite a lot of receivers down the field. 2 receivers on either side. Caden Lemon, the running back. Thomason rushes out of the pocket, has some pressure, has some room, past the 45, still on his feet, past the 40, and out of bounds, past the 30-yard line. At the 28, a big-time run and a first down for Jason Thomason. The first time we've seen something like that all game long from him. Gets him down to the 28-yard line. Shotgun for Thomason, trips to the left side. They hand it to Clayton, and Clayton powers his way back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10.
Number 18, Gavin Clayton.
5:30 and counting here in the fourth quarter. 47-0 here in the district opener. Sunnyvale well in front of Caddo Mills. Shotgun play for Thomason, who hands it to Clayton, who's got some space, but then quickly brought down. He had a little bit of a hole, but it closed quickly. Gain of about 4 on the play to the 24-yard line. With under 5 minutes to go. Gavin Clayton, the senior running back, a lot of the workload today. Trips to the left side. 1 to the right, the lone receiver right there is Brady Washrick. Thomason in a shotgun. Clayton to the left of him, right hash mark going in left to right from the 24-yard line. Rolls to the left side, has some blockers out there. Looks downfield, sets his feet, now reverses his field to the right side. Looks for the end zone, but fires short. He's got a man at the 15. That's Lenneman, and hit out of bounds and hit hard at the 10-yard line. A nice job by Jason Thomason to extend that play and make a play happen. 9-yard gain to the 15-yard line to Jaden Lenneman. Approaching 4 minutes to go here. Caddo Mills trying to avoid the shutout, down 47-0, knocking on the door from the 15-yard line. Fires to the right side and incomplete. Batted down to the line of scrimmage.
Thomas's pass batted down by number 40.
Actually, it'll be a 14-yard gain on that pass play 2 plays ago. Incomplete pass now from the 10-yard line. 3:55 to go in the fourth. 47-0. Sunnyvale over Caddo Mills. Shotgun for Jason Thomason on the right hash mark. 2 receivers on the other side. Now man in motion. Jet Saudivar. Jet sweep to the left side. Trying to get outside, but he can't. Now breaks the tackle inside the 10. Dives for the 5-yard line. And out of bounds he goes.
Number 4, Jet Saudivar, the ball carrier.
First time that jet sweep to Jet Saudivar has had any sort of forward momentum. Gets him to the 4-yard line. A 6-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. 227 yards of total offense for the Caddo Mills Foxes. Now banging on the door, trying to avoid the shutout, down 47-0 in the fourth quarter with 3:47 left to go. Thomason in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right side, to the left. They hand it to Clayton. Clayton powering his way, diving for the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Caddo Mills. The Foxes avoid being shut out here in district play on the district opener in Sunnyvale.
Caddo Mills touchdown.
Something positive to go right for them this game. Jonah Roop on to do the kicking for the extra point try. Caden Lemon, the holder. First time we've seen Jonah Roop out on the field. Lemon, the holder. Good hold. Kick is up, and it's good. 47-7. 3:38 here in the fourth quarter. Caddo Mills on the board on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Caddo Mills down 47-7 now after that score. It was a 4-yard touchdown run from Gavin Clayton. And an 11-play drive. An 11-play drive that took about 4 minutes off the clock here in the fourth. Ends with that 4-yard run from Clayton. And now Josh Ivy will kick off for Caddo Mills. It's down at the 20-yard line to the 15, and it was fielded before it went out of bounds, it looked like, by Johnson. So there will be no penalty, but the ball will be spotted at the 15-yard line. Hey, folks, go see the friendly people over there at North Texas Appliance. Shop where we shop. North Texas Appliance, East I-30 in Rockwall, next to Wilkerson Sanders. For famous brands like Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, General Electric, Monogram, and many others, that's North Texas Appliance in Rockwall. 3:38 in the fourth, 47-7. Probably see some backups now after we've seen a little bit, but there hasn't been really the emptying of the bench for John Settle, and now it looks like that's the case here. I'll try to get as many in as I can, folks, but with one set of eyes might be a little difficult. Caden O'Neill still at the quarterback position. KXEZ, the running back now. The man in motion is Isaiah Wills. Gives it to Sed. Sed up the middle, hit hard to the line of scrimmage, but falls forward in a tough run for Sed. Down to the 29, make it to 19-yard line.
Number 27,
I'm being told it's called, his name is pronounced Kais Saeed. 3:10 on the clock, 47-7. Adam Hamad into the ball game, lines up on the right side, the wide out position. O'Neal claps his hands, takes the snap, gives it to Saeed. Bounces to the left, has some space, powers his way. Nice run by Saeed across the 25 to the 26-yard line. With approaching 2.5 minutes to go in this one, Saeed gets a first down for Sunnyvale. 47-7. After that 11-play drive for Caddo Mills on that last possession, finally got some points on the board. It was Gavin Clayton. He's been doing, picking up the garbage time minutes. Carries, that is. 7 attempts for 37 yards for Gavin Clayton and that touchdown. Saeed still in at running back. O'Neal in a shotgun. Saeed to the right of him. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. They're going to wind this clock down as much as possible, it looks like. Left of the formation is Ethan Tank. Take the snap at 8 seconds to go on the play clock. To the left side, Saeed upended across the 30-yard line. A nice gain by Saeed to the marking at the 29.
Number 27.
3-yard gain. 10 yards total for Isaiah Saeed. Make it Kai Saeed. .138 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Coach John Settle is going to have himself a district win. And he'll be tied for first place at the end of it all. 2nd and 6. Trying to wind the clock all the way down. 10 seconds on that play clock.
How about that?
1:15 and counting. 47-7. Caddo Mills trails Sunnyvale. O'Neal snaps this ball. Hands it to Saeed up again. Up the middle. Across the 35. Across the 30 at the 35 now. And now gets the first down and bottled up after that as a pack of Foxes finally bring him down. Another first down for Sunnyvale with a minute to go. So it's getting closer to what we knew will be the inevitable once the third quarter ended. Sunnyvale will come out of here with a district win, go 1-0, advance to 2-4 on the regular season. Caddo Mills will fall to 4-2 and 0-1 in district play. Sunnyvale, by far, was the better team tonight. Not even close, obviously. Not just on the scoreboard, but not making mistakes as much as Thomason did all game long. Something we haven't seen from him all season long, aside from last week. Again, he'll go 2 games in a row after being the number 2 quarterback in the state of Texas in 4A in touchdown passes. We'll have 2 games in a row with none and 2 interceptions apiece. Thomason, not exactly what we advertised. However, next week's a new game. See the horns buzz. And that'll be the end of it. 47-7.
Your final score.
Sunnyvale takes it over Caddo Mills. And really, Sunnyvale just had complete control of this one. Okay, quick break and have our final thoughts and a look ahead on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. A not-so-hot start for Caddo Mills to start district play. 47-7, they fall to the Sunnyvale Raiders in Raiders Stadium. They'll get back on the horse next week when they take on... Excuse me, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong schedule. Let's look at what they did here in this one against Sunnyvale. Nothing much to write home about, but total of 237 yards in total. 157 passing yards, 17 for 31. Only 5 yards per pass for Jason Thomason, who came in averaging 17 yards per pass attempt. No touchdowns, 1 interception on the day, 157 yards on the ground. 7 attempts for 37 yards for Gavin Clayton, who had that lone touchdown for Caddo Mills. 11 attempts for 21 yards, under 2 yards per carry for Adrian Baxter. Thomason had a big run into the game with 21 yards rushing total. And through the air, quiet game all around, although Jaden Linneman was 3 for 71 yards. Bentley McDaniel, 3 for 25. Jaden 24. Jet Saldivar, 4 for 15. And Wasser, 2 for 15. One of those games where, everyone got involved, but nothing looked quite in sync for either team, for either side of the football. Sunnyvale, on the other hand, all things were clicking. Ridgeton Yates, 13 for 17, 3 touchdown passes, a 76% completion percentage, 232 yards in the air. And rushing toward the end, Matt Levitt, 14 attempts for 64 yards. Evan Johnson, 6 for 26, and Thais Saeed on that last drive had 22 yards. In the air, big numbers. We'll start with the smallest one. Charlie Christopher, 3 for 42. Kirsten Stallings, 1 for 16. Joey Bruiser, big game in the red zone. Joey Bruiser had 5 catches for 59 yards, but 3 touchdown receptions. And Landry Laird, 5 catches for 121 yards. For him, this Caddo Mills team is going to fall to 4-2. They took down all of their pre-district play games, except, of course, for Aubrey last week. And now district comes to play, and they were not exactly ready for it. It looked like Coach Cody Crane, in his 3rd year for Caddo Mills, has some work to do in district play, and we'll see what he can do next week when he takes on Farmersville, away at Farmersville. They won't come back to Ed Locker Stadium in Caddo Mills until we cover them again on October 22nd. They'll try to turn it around. Final score from Raiders Stadium in Sunnyvale, 47-0. Caddo Mills falls to Sunnyvale. For Ethan Brooks back in the KXEZ studio, I'm Ethan Herrera, wishing everybody a good night.